I'm Rebecca Keathley, and I found out about 2.5 years ago that I have celiac disease. In October of 2018, I was diagnosed. Up to that point, I was very sick and malnourished. I had lost down to about 100 pounds, and I couldn't eat anything, couldn't drink anything, couldn't even drink water really without getting terribly sick. And I kept kind of just brushing it off. My symptoms were kind of scary, but I went to the hair salon one day, and my hairstylist was telling me that she had a friend who had just found out she had stage 4 cancer, and she had all the same symptoms as me, the weight loss, the extreme nausea. It just scared me, and with 4 kids at home, I knew I had to go get checked and figure out what was going on, and so that's where it started. My way of life has changed dramatically. While I was relieved to get the diagnosis I got and nothing worse, I didn't realize at first how much I was going to have to change. I can't eat out anymore. Like, you can't just pick up and go on a trip with your family without planning. If you do, I'll just go hungry. So we learned not to do that. The groceries in general are like 4 times the cost, and most of the stuff doesn't taste good. So when I cook dinner for my family, and then I cook something for me. Sometimes we'll end up just being a bowl of cereal just because once you cook one dinner, you kind of just don't even feel like doing another one. We've adapted to it. We've learned to check ahead before we plan vacations or anything, just to kind of see what options I will have. There's a small section of gluten-free foods in our Walmart that I usually shop. I joined a celiac disease support group on Facebook, and that has been a really good resource just to kind of vent to other people who know what you're going through. And it's kind of like a gathering spot for good recipes, or if someone finds something that finally tastes good that's gluten-free, they'll come and suggest it to the rest of the group. We actually found a really good gluten-free pizza. Only problem is it's carried at a store that's 2 hours away. So about once a month, we travel to Lexington and go to the Costco there and get me enough pizza. I usually live on the gluten-free pizza, salad. Really, that's about all. There's some really good things that we have found that kind of taste normal. Like they make gluten-free Rice Krispie treats. That's a good treat. And I've always had such a sweet tooth, and we found several of my favorite candies that are gluten-free too. One of the biggest issues we found with celiac disease is the risk of cross-contamination, because even if you do find a restaurant that will make you a gluten-free pizza or anything, they usually don't change their gloves between regular and gluten-free, or they use the same counter space with the wheat flour that they would put the gluten-free pizzas. So it's a huge risk, because even one little speck of gluten, even if it doesn't make you sick feeling, it's still wreaking havoc on your digestive system. So a lot of the places do offer gluten-free options. So it's really important that they know what celiac disease is, and that they take all the precautions to try not to contaminate the person with celiac disease. There's so many things I miss eating since I got diagnosed with celiac disease. Probably the thing I miss the most is my mom's chocolate gravy and biscuits. I grew up on it. I love it, and I haven't been able to eat it since, and it's terrible. Some of the other things that I can't really just enjoy anymore is like Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas dinner. Gluten-free dressing, stuffing just isn't the same. Here are some of the things that I would really, really like to eat. Like when you just need a snack, want to go to the pantry, I would love to be able to eat a Pop-Tart again, or even a cracker. But here's kind of the things that I have to go for now. These, not the best tasting things in the world. These granola bars aren't my favorite, but they're not too bad. Gluten-free, not too bad. And one thing we have found that is probably one of my favorite gluten-free things, this cake mix. I had missed eating cake with my kids, and we found this. We tried several other ones that were just terrible, and we found this, and it's been so good to be able to eat a piece of cake with my kids again. So we usually make a gluten-free, like anytime it's somebody's birthday. We do the whole cake, you know, for the party, but then we'll make a gluten-free cake just so I'll be able to have a piece with them. So that's been nice. I have to read labels. They had gluten in everything. Things you wouldn't even think about containing gluten, it does. Like caramel coloring, you have to know where the caramel coloring is coming from, because if it comes from a certain area, it's gluten. I mean, it's just crazy. Celiac disease does run in families. There's a gene that gets passed down. I suspect that my dad and brother both probably have celiac disease, but they won't get tested. I'm also suspicious about one of my twin girls. She's 6, and she has a few just little symptoms that kind of make me think maybe she's going to end up with celiac disease, or maybe already has it. I'm not sure. And I've talked to her doctor about maybe getting her checked, but the doctor doesn't think at this point that it's active in her. Like if she does carry the gene, the doctor doesn't think that it's actively, you know, working against her right now. So we're kind of just keeping an eye on her symptoms and making sure they don't get worse, or she doesn't get any more, because we kind of just don't want to put her through the colonoscopy and endoscopy if she doesn't really need to. There's so many different signs and symptoms that can go along with the disease just because of the malnutrition, and your whole body kind of suffers